Hello, everyone. Jillian Stein here, one of the owners of Blue Box Press. I am here with New York Times bestselling author Larissa Ione, author of a bazillion books.
Bazillion.
It feels like a bazillion books, including one of my favorite series, the Demonica and Demonica Underworld series, which we are talking about today because we have a ton of re-released books out in the wild today. And they're some of my favorite books ever. I mean, not only because we publish them, but because that's a series that I is near and dear to my heart. Um, so I guess we'll kind of dive right into it. What was it like revisiting this world and these characters?
Honestly, it was awesome. I dreaded it. I did. I dreaded it. I know, I know. I don't like rereading my books.
Yeah.
Because I always find things that I'm like, oh, I should have done that or could have done this better or whatever. Um, but it's been so long since I had read these that it was awesome going back and realizing that they're actually they're really good. I was happy with them. I was reading them going, "Oh my God, I love this book." Z especially stuck out for me. And that one was, and I actually added a lot out of all the books. I probably added the most content to Z because at the time I wrote these, you know this, but most people
Yes, for all the yeah, for anyone who doesn't.
yeah, I was under contract with Grand Central Publishing, and there was a word count limit that I could go
Yeah.
to. And, so I pushed that limit on a couple of the books, and I might have, but I pushed that limit. But on Z and Razor, those two, I stayed, well within those limits. And as I was going through them, I was like, oh my gosh, I can expand this. And I didn't do anything. I don't want anybody who has already bought the books to feel like they need to. The story's still there.
Yeah.
But I did deepen some of the scenes and some of the emotional stuff. And also in the books, I added uh, recipes and interviews and personal stories and stuff like that. But it was really it was awesome going back and reading and realizing that those are actually really good stories, and I they deserved more than the word count that they were given at the time. So I've expanded them and made them happier.
I
But
love that you
loving
got
and
to do that. I love that you got to do that because for people who don't know, this was part of 1001 Dark Nights. That project, we said goodbye to it this year, but contractually, a lot of the authors that we worked with at the time got around, it was like a little, little tap dance of getting around what you were and were not allowed to do because it was technically a marketing piece. So it was like, okay, if it had to be a certain word count, it was like, then this way we're not really breaking any rules,
exactly.
which is also very interesting. But to anyone who is not familiar with the Demonica series, I mean, I assume that everybody is because, we've been reading these books for a while, but the Demonica series, it's paranormal, there's some fantasy elements, there's a lot in there. How did you dive into that series? Like, where did the idea come up with? Like, how did you get there?
Okay, for the Demonica series or the Demonica Underworld series?
Just Demonica in
Okay, in
general.
general. Okay. So, I was watching an episode of Angel, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer spinoff,
Yes.
and Angel got hurt really, really bad. He's a vampire, for those who don't know.
Mhm.
And really bad. Like he needed to go to a hospital, and there's no place for him to go because he's a vampire. And so I started thinking, hmm, what if there was a hospital for paranormal people?
Mhm.
Someplace they could go after the mean demon slayers have, wailed on them. And so I created Underworld General Hospital, and that is where the Demonica series came from. So the first book is set in an underworld hospital with the doctors and nurses are demons and vampires and werewolves and stuff. And it just took off from there. and became this whole series that then spun off into the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, which then spun off into the Demonica Underworld series, which is still in the world, but it's set, it's mostly enclosed in the actual underworld. So it starts
Yes.
with Azagoth, the Grim Reaper. And what I did was I made each book basically a chapter in this overall arc. So the
Yes.
first book is about the Grim Reaper, and the last book is about the Grim Reaper.
Hmm.
Everything else in between is a chapter. It's like a giant book, and
Hmm.
with all these different chapters, and they all go together. I mean, they flow right into each other. Um, so it's kind of neat because it's like one giant book, with different chapters and different characters, main characters.
And all the characters are so, some are morally gray, some are, like the ultimate hero. The heroines are all very strong. I mean, what is it like to have to come up with such multifaceted characters? Like, how do they just come to you fully formed in your head? Like Z and Cypher, like all these guys, like, did they just come to you or did you have to kind of work them out?
Uh, some of them I have to kind of work out.
Yeah.
A I would say most of them.
Hmm.
There are some that just pop into my head and they're there. They are already fully fleshed out, and but that is rare. Usually I have to dig in once I start writing, and I don't really dig into them beforehand because as I'm writing, things change. So
Oh,
yeah, so like I'll have somebody all planned out. I used to do those character sheets where you're writing out their, favorite
yeah.
food and their favorite color and you're getting detailed, man. And then I'm writing and I'm like, well, this is dumb. He doesn't like orange. I mean, or whatever. So,
Yeah.
he thinks macaroni and cheese is gross. So why did I write that's his first favorite food? I don't know. So I don't do that anymore. I tend to write the book and then I get stuck, and so
Hmm.
then I have to go back to the beginning and then start reworking out who they are and get it to where it needs to be. Sometimes I'll go through the entire book and finish it and still not have them figured out. I have to go back again. And that's where
Wow.
Liz comes in really
Yes.
a lot. Is she'll
Yes.
read it and be like, "Okay, he needs more, she needs more, whatever." And then it clicks and it all comes together and it all works. But yeah, I rarely have them fully fleshed out and know who they are unless they're a strong secondary character that's been
Mhm.
in the series, like Reaver. I knew Reaver
Yes.
really well by the time I got to his book.
Well, he's one of
So
my favorites too.
yeah.
And very complicated relationships. There's a lot of complicated, and not in a bad way complicated, but a lot of people who, like, on paper, they should not be together. Like, you're like, this, how is this ever going to work? Like, how are they ever going to overcome these odds and like actually make some sort of a relationship work? And yet you do it. And it's all, I mean, all these characters, the ones that come together, you're like, oh, I guess if I look back, I could see that there was a little bit of attraction, even though they hated each other, but they didn't really hate each other. What is that kind of like? Is that also something that doesn't really come to you until you start writing the books and you're like, wait, maybe Reaver, and I don't want to spoil anything, but like maybe Reaver's love interest really should be this person that doesn't really look like they should be together.
Yes, I do that. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. But I find that those are actually the easier ones to do. Like right now, I'm working on Legacy of Gabriel, and that one is Gabriel, the archangel, is the hero, and the heroine is Rika, who is the daughter of the Grim Reaper. And
Yep.
that is that that's not a match made in heaven at all.
Nope.
And they're going to
Nope.
be just that one's going to not go well for them for a while. Um, and I like those kind. I love writing those kind of books. The hardest ones I think are, well, I just got done writing one of the hardest books ever.
Oh,
And it's because
yes.
they were friends, is friends to lovers. And that is, I found really hard to do,
Yeah.
and I love it. It turned out to be one of my favorite books. Um, that one's going to be Legacy of Desire. And it's coming out in May. A
Yes,
little
it
plug
is.
there. But that one was really, really difficult.
Yeah.
Even though it was clear that these people
Yeah.
needed to be together, but it was still really hard.
Yeah.
So no, I like the ones that are just complete opposites. They don't seem like they should be together at all, and then they just work.
Well, yeah, because even when we go to Rika, I mean, not only do we have the issue between just the two of them, it's like, oh, no, 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 their families are all going to be like, no, no, what do you mean you're falling for him? That is not how this works.
Right, right,
Because it's
exactly.
not, it's like we've got family dynamics, we've got like, evil versus not. I mean, it's like this whole other dynamic that's not just, that we don't get in the contemporary world of things really, because
Right,
it's really not like there's bad people, but it's not literally like the Grim Reaper or an arcane. Like there's angels.
right.
It's like there's a lot to do there. But to touch on um the book that comes out in May, that's a Why Choose, which is
Yes.
also, to your point, writing that. I mean, the three of them have been friends since they were children. So I mean, there's a lot of history there
Yep.
to kind of build in. And I mean, they go through a lot of emotions. I mean, and that had to be hard to write, especially like, the kind of like, if I cross this line, it's going to ruin our entire dynamic of the three of us, not
Right.
just, oh, well, this is my best friend. I mean, then there's like,
Right. There's
yeah,
another
there's,
best friend.
yeah,
So how do you do that? Yeah. And then there's the fact that Scotty's dad is one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
yeah.
Yeah, the boys don't want to deal with that. That's
Yeah,
like,
like he doesn't want his daughter with anybody, let
yeah,
alone those
exactly.
two.
My
He's like,
little girl with these idiots. Yeah. So, yeah. Mm,
how was writing that? That was, now, if my memory serves, that is your first Why Choose.
yes.
How was that? Was that fun to like it's different, right?
It was very different. It was fun, but it was hard. It was one of the hardest books I've ever written, and it's because, um, well, not only do you, it's hard enough to write romance. People don't
Yeah.
think it's difficult, but it is because you're
Yeah.
digging into,
Yeah.
you've got two main characters, where in a lot of books you've only got one,
Yeah.
and you've got two, not only do you have two, but you need two arcs.
Mhm.
You've got to
Yeah.
really develop these two characters. So you've got their own personal arcs, then you've got the story arc, and then you've got the romance arc. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Um, but with this, I've got another one, another person that I had to add into all of that. So trying to
Yeah.
weave all of that together was a challenge. I
Yeah.
am not sure how much I want to do that again.
Well, and not only that, like all of your characters, well, the majority of them, they've got some pretty, emotional baggage as far as like
They've
what
got
they've
issues.
gone through in their past, like the journey that led them to where they are today. I mean, like and again, because it is paranormal, we're not dealing with just like, yeah, this kind of bad thing happened to me. Like the bad things that happen are bad, like being tortured for hundreds of years
Right.
in literal hell. Like so there's a lot. It's very emotional to kind of, it's emotional to read. So I can't imagine what it's like to write. I
It's
mean,
oh, it's fun. I like torturing my characters. So, and I like tortured characters. The more tortured, the
yes,
better.
yes,
So, what I found kind of challenging about these books, though, is that for the most part, they grew up happy in well-adjusted families. I mean,
yes,
they are because they're the kids of the
yeah,
Demonica and Four Horsemen books.
yeah,
So, they have great parents,
yeah,
very, sex positive people
yeah,
so I had to create reasons for them to be, traumatized from stuff that's
mhm,
not family related. Because a lot of my characters are, their traumas from a bad childhood or,
yeah.
whatever. No, these people had great childhoods.
They
So,
did, they
so the
did.
yeah, so the challenge was trying to kind of find, dig deep and find what, I mean, obviously there were a couple traumatic things that happened um between the Demonica and Four Horsemen series and the Demonica Birthright series,
Yes,
um, that really changed things. And then going back to the Demonica Underworld series that releases on the 20, what's it, tomorrow's the 24th, or today?
tomorrow. Yeah, the
What is
24th.
happening? Okay, so
I know, I know, I know, I
uh,
know.
So, in that series, the very end book, Reaper,
Mhm.
just blows up my entire world and changes the world forever. So
Yeah.
now the kids in the Birthright series are having to deal with that because everything was all, pretty normal up to that point, and then
Yeah.
it just all came apart. So,
Yeah.
so they are dealing with the aftermath of that too. So that actually helps build some of the, drama and chaos in there.
Because to your point, I mean, they did have pretty idyllic childhoods because their parents are like, we can stop at nothing to keep our family safe and kind of normal and like just be like, oh, see, we fought all these terrible battles and now we're just going to make sure our kids are just, we're going to make sure that nothing harms them, nothing is wrong. And here they are. And it's like, well, wait, what's the conflict then?
Right, exactly.
Which is, I can't imagine how that's got to be like you have to be sitting there for hours being like, what, how am I going to make these people's lives miserable?
I do. I do. But, it is fun though. I have to say, that's one of
Yeah.
those things that it's just kind of fun to make your characters miserable, you
Yeah.
know.
I mean, listen, somebody's got to.
I know it's therapeutic.
Speaking of now just kind of publishing in general, your first book was out in 2000 and was it eight
Ish.
ish? Yes.
Hmm.
Obviously, times have changed.
Right.
Um, what if for any aspiring authors who might be watching this or, come across this at any point, what kind of advice do you have to give just on writing in general right now? Or like it just some kind of like a piece of advice that you still kind of abide by now or something that you've learned along the way.
One of the things, because yeah, publishing has changed so much. Oh my gosh.
I
Uh,
know. It's crazy to think I mean, it's crazy back, in the early days. It was like,
oh,
no, you went
it was
to a publisher. Yeah.
Yeah, I was writing before ebooks. So I remember when ebooks came out, people were like, those aren't real books and
Uh-huh.
this is going to destroy the publishing world, and I mean people freaked out.
Oh
And
yeah.
now most of my sales are in digital,
I know. Isn't it crazy to think about?
Yes. It is. It's really crazy. Um and then self-publishing, that's taken off too, and so things are so different. I would basically say, what I've always said is learn the basics, learn the rules,
Yeah.
and that way you know the rules and you can break them. I break the rules all the time, but I
Yes.
learned them. I took a long time I read all the how-to books.
Yeah.
I took classes. I entered contests, writing contests. I went, I went to seminars, and I learned a lot before I actually got
Yeah.
started. Um, and then, I learned what works for me. And, so now I break all the rules because I can.
Well,
So
that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, no, 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 learn them. So then you can break them. And then you're like, well, now that's my own set of rules.
exactly,
Like find your
exactly.
voice
Yes,
and
yes,
go with it.
that is exactly it. Finding your voice is so important. And I don't, I want, I always say don't follow the rules because I think that
Mhm.
that kind of stifles your voice, but you
Mhm.
still need to learn them, so that when people say, oh, you can't do that, you can't have apostrophe or comma there. Yes, I can.
Yeah,
Because
you're
that,
like,
yes, I
because
can.
here's the rule that I'm breaking. See, I know the rules, and this is why I'm breaking it. So
Exactly.
therefore, leave me be.
Yep. 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 Yep.
I
Exactly.
mean, and that's the thing too. I mean, I feel like I could pick up a Larissa Ione book if I hadn't read it already and know that that is a Larissa book. Like your voice is your voice. Like there's and a lot of the authors that we all kind of have become friends with in our little circle, like Kristen Ashley. You can
Mhm.
pick up a Kristen Ashley book and that's her characters.
100%. Yep.
So, but she's breaking the rules.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and she does it brilliantly. I
Yeah.
mean, so yeah, that's when you're confident and you're just going out there and you're punching it,
Yeah.
yeah, go for it.
I mean, and I think that too, like, writing in the genre that you write in, you kind of just even like as a world building, like you're making the rules,
Yes.
which is has to be awesome. Like it's not like I'm setting this in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Okay, well, that is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That means that everything that is about Philadelphia, Pennsylvania has to be Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, in the newer series, you do have, you're in Australia.
Or Australia.
Not to spoil, we're not going to spoil anything, but poor Australia. But for the most part, like you kind of made your own world. Like, what is that like, and how do you keep track of all of that?
Well, it's awesome because yes, I can make my own rules, which means I can break my own rules. And,
Yes.
uh, on the other hand, I sometimes forget what rules I set down. And honestly, I have not been the greatest at keeping track of things. So when I went back through the Demonica Underworld stuff, I
Uh-huh.
actually found a whole bunch of stuff that I was like, oh crap. So I fixed those things so that I was not breaking my own rules anymore. Or oh yeah, I found a few things. It wasn't like giant things, but it was still like, oh, I'm glad I get to fix that now. So yeah. Um,
I always wonder what it's like to go back and reread your work. I equate it because I'm not a writer. I'm always like, if I have to go back and listen to an interview and I'm like, oh, I hate hearing my own voice.
exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
and that's what it's like. That's why I don't like to reread my own books. I find all the flaws and then I feel like crap. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But I mean, is there a genre that you haven't written in yet that you would like to in the future? Because some people may not know you do have a few contemporaries out there.
I do. I would love to write science fiction.
Oh, you would kill that.
Science fiction is where my heart is. I love science fiction. Um, I've got a goal. I'm going to write a Star Trek novel someday.
Oh,
Just I want to be in the Star Trek world. I want to be part of it. So that someday is a goal. And I'd also like to maybe try thrillers. I love thrillers,
oh,
and so I don't know. Oh, and also women's fiction. I'm working on a women's fiction right now too. So I forgot
yes.
about that. So I don't know. I've got a bunch of things I'd like to do, but I've got to get through my Demonica stuff first,
Yes.
get that, get these books done and this world to where I want it to be. And
Yeah.
then I'll start shifting my focus. But there's a few more books, so
Oh,
lots more
yes.
books.
And unfortunately, because we know the ending to how this all ends.
We do. You're gonna love it. Well,
It's
you'll
gonna
not
be,
hate. You might not hate it. Well, you probably won't hate it. But no, it'll be okay. It'll be
it's
okay.
fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's
It's
fine.
great. Everything's
Great.
fine. It
It's
will it will be great. It actually, even though Liz and I were not huge fans of it in the first place, it actually is a very fitting end.
it is. And just to be clear, so nobody, is like, oh my God, I don't want to keep reading this because I don't want
Oh,
to.
yes. Yes.
It's
Thank you.
not the Demonica Birthright series will end properly. I mean,
Yes.
we're working toward in this book, we're in the Demonica series, we were kind of doing a demon apocalypse kind of thing. We were doing a
Yes.
lot of conflict in the demon world. In the Four
Yes.
Horsemen series, it was more conflict in the human world. In the
Yes.
Demonica Birthright series, we're doing a lot of conflict and Civil War stuff in heaven.
Yes.
So all of that will be concluded at the end of this series, and everything will be happy. Happily
Yes.
ever after. Everything's going to be great. But
Yes.
then I do want to do a book that because okay, in just so everybody knows, I mean, this isn't a big secret, but um Satan gets locked away for 1,000 years, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
eventually he's getting out, and that's when the
Yeah.
apocalypse starts. Well, I've set this all up, and so what will happen is, I'm finishing out the Birthright series, happily ever after, blah blah blah, but the next book will be set in 1,000 years, and that will be like the final, and people don't have to read it if they don't want to,
Yeah.
if they want to just keep, you know
Yeah.
everything's great, but
Yeah.
that will be the final battle. And that one will be a while because I'm not ready. I'm not there yet.
I know, I was gonna say, I know, I look back on all of the, the series that kind of brought me into reading as much as I read. It's, you, J.R. Ward. I mean, like just, some of like the all-time like, fan favorites. I have to imagine it's hard to imagine the end of a series that you've been in for so long. I mean, so it's like that. I like that you have the idea of the last book, but I like that you're like, I'm not ready yet to
Yeah.
kind of end, not in a bad way, end the series, but everything kind of has to come to an end at
Well,
some
yeah,
point.
exactly. Kind of like, did you ever watch Supernatural?
Yes.
Okay, that
Yes.
end, it was like,
Yeah.
okay. And I
Yeah.
get why they did it.
Yeah.
And it might not have been for me the best ending ever, but
I
I
know.
mean,
It had to end. I mean, right?
it
It's like
did.
everything, they can't, as much as we as fans, and I'm sure you as an author, you want it to continue. It's like at some point, we gotta, it can't, the story can't keep going on.
Right. Right. And so I yeah, that's kind of what I want to do is
Yeah.
that kind of ending where it is done. There's,
Yeah.
nothing left. It's 1,000 years
Yeah.
and nobody,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what the world is actually going to be like in 1,000 years kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's going to, so yeah, I've got the idea. I may be 80 when I write it, but
That's okay.
but yeah, it'll be a while before that final book.
Yeah, because it is going to be bittersweet, right? Like
It is.
you've been writing in this world for so long, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay, well now there's not one more book to look forward to writing.
right.
Like, oh,
Exactly.
I get to go visit with my friends again. Like, no, they're still over there, but they're just not hanging out with you anymore.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, okay, some fun rapid fire questions. And I know that I know a lot of these answers, but again, I'm
Okay.
not taking it for granted that everyone knows these
Okay.
things. Um, oh, some of these are tough. Right off the top of your head, favorite character.
You're right. Some of these are tough.
I know, just like,
Uh, um, uh, okay, so there's a couple. Okay,
okay, good.
there's like four who tie right now.
Okay, okay, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay, so Wraith, because he was my first real, bad boy. I loved him.
Oh,
Um, Reaver,
oh, yes. Yes.
Resef,
Yeah.
mm, and I'm gonna say also Strike from the new series
Oh, listen.
because that guy was just
So good.
I
Talk
love that book.
about like a tortured hero.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
But like
probably one of my most tortured. I mean, Resef for sure, obviously, because he did horrible things.
he did.
But oh, boy, Strike was a mess.
He was, I don't want to say tough to read because that's not the right connotation I want to say. He was tough to read in a way that you're like, ooh, I can feel just how emotional, like he was like a really good one to read, but wow, his journey was a journey.
It was, and it was one of my favorite. It was one of the easiest books I've written because I like
Really?
tortured all those books that I just talked about, except
Yeah.
Reaver. Hated writing that one. But the other ones were so easy because I love a tortured hero. And
Yeah.
Strike's book was really easy to write. It was just
Yeah.
it just all fell it just fell into place.
I love that. What was the, okay, not off rapid fire. What was the book that took you the longest to write and a book that took you the shortest to write? Like what was the one that you were like sat down and it really completely just flew out of you and you're like, wow, I can't believe it. And then one that was like, oh my gosh, this is taking me way longer than I thought.
Okay, so Passion Unleashed, which is Wraith's book, was
Okay.
was really easy. That one
Wow.
came out really, really fast. That one, yeah, that one was easy. I would say that also Resef's book, uh, what was that? Something Rider.
Rogue?
Rogue
Or
Rider. Yeah.
I'm looking,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wait, I could just look. Hold on.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, I've got it right
Rogue Rider. It's right there.
there. Yeah, so that one was easy as well. That one went fast. Um, I would say also Legacy of Chaos went fast. The
Oh,
but the ones that took the longest, I would say Reaver was the hardest.
Hmm.
But I think the one that probably took the longest was Ecstasy Unveiled. That was the fourth book in the Demonica series about lore.
I was gonna say, is that Laura and Itis? Itis, is
Yes.
that right?
That one, the reason it took so long was because I had to rewrite that thing from the beginning. I mean, I wrote that whole book, and then the editor did not like it at all. The only thing I kept
Oh,
was the prologue, and I had to rewrite that book during a move from Virginia to
oh,
Wisconsin. So I'm in the car while Brian's driving. I'm in the car writing this book. It took forever. And Eternal Rider actually took a while too. The first book in any series is kind of
is
a
tough.
it is tough. And so
Yeah.
Eternal Rider, which was about the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, known as War, Ares, that was pretty difficult because I was setting up the whole thing, and so that one took a while too.
I can't believe you had to rewrite a whole book. Oh my God.
It was horrible.
I don't
But at
know
the
what
time,
I'm.
I was still fresh and new, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I can do this. By the time I got to Reaver and had to work on that, I was done. I mean, I literally threw my computer across the room.
Good.
I was in tears. I almost just quit writing at that point. It was
Oh my
that
God.
traumatic for me. And it ended up being a great book. I love it now, but
Yeah.
boy, that was not fun.
Oh my, I was gonna say, is there a book that you'd never go back and reread? But I'm glad you still like it now. That's at least.
Yeah, I just reread it actually because I needed some information from it for working on the Underworld series. So I
Yes.
had to go back and reread it and get some stuff on Harvester and everything. And yeah, so I just got finished rereading it and I was like, okay, well, I can get past my trauma and do this. And
You're like, it's fine. I'm on the other side of it now. Everything's
it's
fine.
fine. It's all good. It's been years. I'm good.
I also love it. And in case readers didn't pick up on, an Underworld General Hospital spells out UG.
Yes, it does. I
Which
had
is,
fun with that.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, that was definitely not by accident. That is totally a Larissa move right there. Be like, oh, did you notice? It said
Yep, yep.
UG.
Well, I did have, and so that readers would know that I'm not a moron, I did have the heroine in there. I mean, like you, you named your hospital UG, so that they would know it's an inside. I know what I did,
Yeah, you're like, I did this on purpose. This is not
Yeah,
like I didn't
exactly.
just like happen by this. It's totally on
Right.
purpose. Oh
Yep.
my, that is the best. I do remember that whole scene. Really? You named your hospital UG?
That's precious. Yeah, I know. She was just like, "Oh, you're an idiot." So
Um, most off the top of your head, most emotional scene that you've written that was like tough.
that would be the one from Legacy of Chaos,
Oh,
the park
yes.
carousel scene. That was
Yes.
tough. That one
That was
was.
tough to read. And
Yeah.
and everyone's like, no, she didn't. And we're like, yeah, she did.
Yeah, yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
But again, necessary.
It was necessary and it all turns out
Mhm.
okay.
It does,
So, I- yes,
but necessary. That I would agree that out of all the books, that was a,
it it
I
was
mean, yeah.
it was
Sorry,
really
sorry,
good.
readers. We're gonna
I,
have to, you'll have to
I
read it
know, I
in
know,
order to
trigger
find out.
trigger warnings and
Trivia.
but yeah, oh yeah, that one was tough, but it does all turn out okay.
It does. It really does. That's the journey to get to the okay. That is,
Yeah,
you got to get through it.
yeah.
Favorite way to celebrate writing the end?
Oh, beer.
Yeah.
No, crack a beer, pizza. I mean, we
Yeah.
usually open a bottle of champagne, something, but there I usually I'll crack a beer or a champagne and just we'll have pizza, and then I just sit and brain dead for a little while. So I'll just
Yes.
put on a movie that I've been wanting to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, that's the thing too. Like I have to imagine afterwards, you're like, I just need to like not, I just need to veg.
yes, yes, I do. I totally veg, and then I'll spend a couple of days. I do spend a couple of days doing nothing, but well, what I'll do is one day I clean the house because if I'm done on a deadline, oh my gosh, everything just Oh my gosh. I'm like, oh my God, I'm living in squalor. So I clean the house. And then one day I do nothing but play video games. I get on my
Yes.
VR headset and just play games. That's the one thing I have to limit myself on when I'm writing. Otherwise, I'll do it all day.
Yeah.
So when I'm done, I'm like,
Yeah.
I have one day where that's all I'm gonna do.
I
And
like it.
yeah, so
Does your family read your books?
my mother-in-law reads them.
Okay.
My husband reads them.
Yes.
My mom is not allowed to read them, and my son is not allowed to read them.
No.
So yeah, so my mom did read my Moonbound books though, because those ones are a little tamer. Um,
The Moonbound Clan books. Wow.
yeah,
Those are some great books. That's an oldie.
yeah, yeah. Those I know, and there's only two. There's only three of them. There's two plus a novella,
Those
and
are super.
eventually I need to finish those too.
I mean, I know I'm looking. I have the paperbacks right over there along with the other ones. Well,
Mhm.
oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so she read those and she read Snowbound because again that one's a little milder, but she's just not. My mom is just not into the supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
So the demons and stuff like that are plus they're really hot, which is also why
Yes.
my son can't read them.
No.
So, but he's so funny. He works at a school district and he always is coming and saying, "Mom, I need some of your books to take to work," because people are always
Oh,
asking for them. So I'm giving him all these books and I sign them and stuff, and so he's got all these people that come and get books from him. So that's kind of fun.
so sweet. He's bragging on mom, being like, yes, my
Yeah.
mom's a writer.
Yep. Yep.
She writes really awesome books.
Not that I
Oh,
can read them, but
I know. Well, and the thing is, too, I think he probably liked them too.
oh, he probably
That's
would.
right up his, yeah, I think yeah.
He probably would, but it would probably squick him out to know that, oh, mom wrote this. Ugh. So yeah, no. Ugh. So
I know,
yeah.
right? And then be like, and dad, you read them too? Like,
I know.
whoa.
So yeah, no, it's yeah. Nope.
Um, Villain you secretly love.
Mm. Well,
Let's take this even outside of your books.
oh boy. Uh
I
boy.
know this is a toughie
This is really tough.
because you don't like your villains are villains, but they're still kind of likable.
Well, it depends on if I decide, like, okay, when I first came up with Harvester, she
Ah, yes.
she was just going to be pure evil and not going to be, able to be redeemed. But I loved her.
Oh,
And I
she's
was like,
awesome.
"Ugh, she's got to have a book." And same with Revenant. He was going to be just a total asshole I was going to have to kill. And then I went,
Yep.
"Oh, I don't want to kill him."
Mhm.
So, yeah, but outside of my books, I'm trying to think of
Wow.
like a TV series kind of thing, like
Yeah,
or like Game of Thrones or something that
I know. Well, speaking of, everything has to come to an end. That was not a good ending.
no, no.
I'm totally off topic now, but I want to touch on Harvester really quick because now that you're saying this, having read the books, you could see where the kind of the tide changed a little bit. So did you know in the beginning that she was going to get a redemption, or was she just going to be bad? And then as you were writing her, you were like, you know what? There's something here. I love that because you can actually tell. Like it's like, okay, because the reading journey is like, oh, I hated her. Like she
Mhm.
was terrible. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is a horrible person or a horrible being.
Hmm.
But then as she kept coming up in books, I'm like, well, wait a minute. Maybe I mean, what's her how did she turn into a villain? Why do we hate her so much? And she actually turned out her redemption's one of my favorites.
Mine too. And
Yeah.
yes, when she first showed up in it was the first Horseman book, I was
Yes.
like, oh, she's just such a bitch and she's gonna die.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to kill her at some point.
Yep. And
And
we
then
wanted you to.
yeah, yeah. And then, oh, yeah, but I love redeeming bad guys like Resef, who is the worst of the worst. I
Yeah,
mean, that
literally. Yeah.
guy turned into pestilence and like killed people for fun.
Mhm.
And there were so many readers who were like, I can't read his story. I hate him. There's just no way. There's no way. And then they read it and they were like, oh my God, somehow
Yeah.
you did it. and
Because he just, I mean,
favorite.
bless his heart, he was, I mean, when he realized what he did, I mean, it wasn't just like he was like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, yeah, he's just like, well, whatever. Sorry, guys. I
Yeah.
mean, sorry, you want to go out for ice cream? Like he
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely,
He
that
lost his
was a,
shit.
yes.
Yep.
Ooh, now I want to go, now I want to go back and reread all of these books. Like, I can't work today. I have to go back and
I have to
reread.
read.
Okay. A trope that you can't resist.
Oh, enemies to lovers. I mean, that's,
Oh
yep.
yeah. 150 million% yes.
Yep.
Um, are you, I mean, I know the answer to this, a plotter or a pantser?
I want to be a plotter, but I'm more of a pantser.
Yeah.
I wish I could be a plotter. I try all the time. I'm always
Yeah.
trying, and it always fails. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm kind of a mess that way.
But I love, I think it's like so interesting to me, like, because the worlds that you have and the characters you have are so complex. You would think
would think,
that
right?
you would think, but I was just talking to Donna Grant this morning. She is like you. She's like, I wish I could be a plotter, but I'm a pantser. So that strikes me as so interesting because what you all write is so complex that it's like, oh wow, that's pretty incredible that you're like, no, no, no. I just sit down and it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's
mean,
pretty amazing.
I do try. I mean,
Yeah.
I at least usually get certain plot points.
Mhm.
I know where I kind of
Yeah.
need the book to go, but I discovered that if I plot too much, I end up with just this tunnel vision and I have to get there and then things don't work and I'm like, why don't they work? Well, it's because I put myself just in
Mm.
this lane and I've got blinders on and I can't
Yeah.
see anything else.
Yeah.
So, but being a pantser leads to a lot of rewrites because
Oh, okay. Yeah.
a lot, so I kind of have it's either way.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Listen,
Either way, I
we're
got
just happy
rewrites.
to get the book at the end. I don't give it like I don't listen. I'm just happy as a reader. I'm like, well, how did you get there? That's great, but I'm so happy I have this book. Is there a story that you have written that will never see the light of day?
Yes. It's no, it's some of the first stuff that
Yeah.
I wrote. I started out writing historical romance. And
Yes.
so I have a couple of historical romance manuscripts that will never see the light. I love them,
Yeah.
but to make them actually be publishable,
Mhm.
um, it
Yeah.
would just take so much work. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, and that kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, that it's like the world that you're currently writing in, like you made the rules. It's like, okay, well, if it's historical romance, the word history is in the genre. So it's
Yes.
like you'd have to all the
Yeah, there are actual rules you have to
yeah,
follow, you know?
those
So
yeah.
it's like, ugh. Yeah, I thought about turning it into a fantasy so that I wouldn't have to, yeah, but then I've got more world building that I've got to put into it, that's
Yeah.
so I'm like, ugh, it just sounds like a lot of work. So
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
not into it.
No.
Yeah.
No. When you started writing, did you think that this series was going to grow into what it is?
No, no. In fact, when I first sold the Demonica series, sold it as a 3 book series.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was going to be basically it. It was just going to be 3 books. And I was just like, I'm just so lucky to be published in the first place. I was like,
Yeah.
I was happy with that. But by the time we got to the first book did really, really well. And
Mhm.
then the second book um, hit the USA Today, and the third book hit the New York Times bestseller list. So at that point, my editor was like, so, do you think that these 3 brothers could have more siblings? And I was like, huh, I bet I could come up with some.
Yeah.
And so I did and got another 2 books out of it, which then leapfrogged into the Four Horsemen. And so, yeah, no, it grew from there. But yeah, originally it was just going to be a 3 book series.
That's crazy. I mean, and that's the thing too, you write, you have so many great characters that it's like, okay, I can see how now you could still spin things off. Like there's still people that I'm like, ooh, that would be a really great book to
Yes.
read. That character would be awesome to learn about, like their backstory and everything. I have to imagine as you're writing too, you're like, ooh, this person seems
I
this character is
do.
really interesting. What can I do with
Yep,
that?
I do. I do. And I'm like, no, stay on target here. These ones I have to write. So no, I do. And I keep saying that once I get to the end of these books, there's going to be seven. Once I
Mhm.
get to the end of these, I'm like, I'm done, except for that one,
I know,
But
right? And then you're like,
I'm
but
sitting there going,
maybe,
and
maybe.
then I know I'm like, but yeah, no, I got to stop. So yeah. Ugh.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm just excited to have these. It's 9 books out tomorrow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. And again, to remind everyone, you went through and you added some things to the books to kind of make certain scenes more fleshed out and to give more
Right.
meat. So if you haven't read them yet, you're getting this version. If you have read them, like Larissa said earlier, the story has not changed. Nothing has
Right.
changed as far as, the meat and bones of the
Right.
story itself. So
Right.
um, but yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty awesome thing to kind of go through and see these characters and these people again and to have
And
them
the new
out.
covers.
I
I
know.
love the covers.
How fun was that?
That was awesome. I mean,
To
like
like
all of a sudden, a whole bunch of new covers. I mean, cover day is always the best day of any writer's career. Always. You get
so
a,
fun.
yeah, it's like, and so I got a whole bunch at once.
So
It was
fun.
like awesome.
And we are just looked at another cover today that we can't tell you about
And
right
I
now.
cannot wait to show people.
But hopefully soon. I mean, I'm assuming maybe, I don't know, maybe this week. The
Ooh.
world is our oyster. We don't know.
It is. It is. So yeah,
Well, thank you for talking with me. I always love to do these with you and,
I do too.
revisit all the things. So
Yes.
again, 9 books out today. And okay, so let's kind of go through, but if someone has never picked up a Larissa book and wants to start with these, there are, oh my gosh, good versus evil. There's angels and demons. There's enemies to lovers. There's battles. There's good versus evil. I mean, like if you want it, and if you have any, if you like paranormal romance or fantasy romance, like this is totally right up your alley.
Absolutely. And it's what's nice about this series is it's contained
Yes.
enough that you don't have to read anything else that comes before it.
Yep.
You'll want to after you read this,
Yes.
but it is contained enough that you can start with Azagoth and read them all and get to the final one, Reaper.
Hmm.
And you don't necessarily have to read all of them in between, but I would recommend it because like I said, it's like one big book with a bunch of chapters and there is an overarching, plot. So you
Yeah.
probably don't want to miss, especially the last couple books are really important. So
Yes. No spoilers, but
yeah,
yes, I
yeah,
will agree with all of that, especially because again, you don't have to worry about like, oh gosh, well now if I want to pick up this book, I have to read the 7 ones that came before it. That
right.
is not, this is a nice little entry point, if you
Yes,
may.
it is a really good
Yeah.
place to start.
Well, thank you again, and thank you all for watching. And yeah,
Yeah,
thank you, Larissa, and happy
release.
release day. I guess happy
Yay!
release week. Yes, happy.
Yes, I'm going to turn it into
Um,
the week because there's a lot of books here. So I'm going to have, yeah,
that's right.
highlighted each day.
So, thank you, and thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.